Welcome to Learn How to Paint in Acrylics. My name is Michael Pickett and I'll be your instructor. Well, today's lesson will be a real Santa Claus for Christmas. Well, let's go to my studio and I'll show you how it's done. Hello, we're here at my studio. We're finishing up the drawing of Santa Claus. Now we'll get our burnt sienna and plenty of water, and we'll create a wash. We'll cover that whole canvas. When that canvas is all covered, we'll get our cotton sock and wipe the paint off just enough so you can see the pencil through the paint. Now we'll start out with the eyes. We'll put in the pupil first. And then we'll go to the other side. Do the same. Then we'll get some brilliant blue and we'll put in the iris. Then we'll add a little bit of blue into the area that's white. Add a little bit more white and burnt sienna together, and we'll add that into the white part of his eye. Now we'll get some burnt sienna, white and black, and all that combination, and we will frame around the eye. We'll paint in his eyebrows. We'll add some white and burnt sienna onto the corner of the eye. And we'll bring it up to the bridge of his nose. Now we'll lighten it up on top of his other eye. And underneath the eye, we'll bring the eye up just a little higher. And we'll add a dot onto the corner of the eye. Now we'll fill in the side of his nose. I'm going to outline underneath his nose with black and burnt sienna and a touch of white. Not make it too dark. We'll fill underneath his cheeks. We'll shadow in under his nose and around his nose. We'll go ahead and blend all that in. On his cheek. We'll blend some more burnt sienna in with the shadow. Now we're going to take white and burnt sienna together, and we're going to highlight his nostril. Take some white and burnt sienna and we will fill in his forehead. To his nose. Brighten up his cheek. Make it look round. And we'll do a lot of blending as we go. Now we'll lighten it up on top of his nose and his cheeks and underneath his eyes. Blend all that in together. Now we'll work on his mouth. We'll take red and black together and we'll fill in the inside of his mouth. Now we'll take some white and burnt sienna and we will fill in his teeth. Now we'll take a little bit more white and we'll do some highlights on his teeth. There we go. Now we'll get some red and we'll work on the top of his lip and then we'll fill in the bottom lip. And where we shadow, we'll take just a touch of black in with the red and we'll create the shadow. on the corners of his mouth. Now we'll add a little bit of white in with our red, and we'll highlight underneath the lips. We're going to work on his beard a little bit. We're going to fill it in. Basically, all we're doing right now is putting in our undercoats before our detail. Now we'll get some burnt sienna with our number 2 brush, and we'll fill it in underneath the lip. Well, if you got the beard filled in, okay, now we'll get some burnt sienna with our number 2 brush, and we'll fill it in underneath the lip. Now we'll add a little bit of white in with our red, and we'll highlight underneath the lips. Well, we're going to get some white and burnt sienna, and we're going to touch up the face. Now we'll make a little shadow line right on the top of his forehead between the hat and his skin. And we're doing a lot of blending on the shadowed part of his face. We're looking at the photograph at the same time we're doing this so we can get it just right. Well, we'll brighten it up alongside of his nose. To bring out his cheeks a little more. We'll add a little more white and burnt sienna onto his forehead, letting his eyebrows stand out a little bit more. We'll work on the cheek and the shadowed part of his face. We'll go ahead and add some more detail in there and around his eye with your zero brush. Now we'll add some reflected light underneath his nose. We'll go over to the side of his nostril, and we'll blend it in as we go. There you go. Brighten it up on the bridge of his nose, then over to the side of his cheek. We'll blend all that together. Now we'll add some burnt sienna and white down underneath his lips and kind of blend that in. Add some black and red to the corner of his mouth, deepening his smile. Then we'll add a shadow. Now we're going to fill in his eyebrows. Now we'll get our fan brush and we'll lightly go over the top. We'll just make his beard fluffy. There you go. Somebody just informed me that I had made the beard too pink and the lips too red. I'm colorblind and I couldn't see that. So at the end of the lesson, I'll go ahead and correct it. Well, we're going to work on Santa's collar. We're taking blue, black, and a touch of burnt sienna together to create the shadows. You always want to put your shadows in first, and then you add your lighter colors on top. And add some brighter white. We're going to brighten that up a lot more, and we're going to blend as we go. We'll work on his cap, and we'll do the same thing. We'll add all of our dark colors in first. We'll add some blue, black, touch of burnt sienna. Mix that together to create a light gray, light bluish gray. And then you add your white over the top of that. Now, the little ball on his cap. There we go. Well, we're going to add some red and black together. We're going to work on his suit. We're going to bring it up to his shoulder. We're going to make it lighter on top of his shoulder. We're going to work on the other side. We're just going to fill that in with red and a touch of black. And then we're going to brighten it up as we go to the top of the shoulder. Use some white and blend that in. Now we'll work on his cap, putting a darker red on there first, using red and black. Now we're going to take some red and white. We're going to go along the side. We're going to blend all that in. Now we'll add some more white. We'll brighten up the cap a little bit more. White along the edge. On the ball of his cap, we'll brighten it up on that one side. We'll brighten it around his collar some more. Now we'll work on the background. Just take your brilliant blue and squeeze a little bit on the canvas. Get your number 10 brush and fill it in. Next we will take our 0 brush and we will fill in the holes that we missed with the 10 brush. There we go. Now we're going to get some more white and blue, add some more onto his hat. Make that a little shadowy, a little bit more. Want to fill in between the background and the cap and his clothes. We're going to blend all that in. We'll add some more white. Okay, now we're going to take some white and black together. Create a darker gray, and we're going to go over the beard. Going to do this again. This time it's not going to be pink. It's going to be a gray beard. And on his mustache and everything. Okay, get that all filled in. Eliminate all that pink. Here we go. Now that's gray. Nice. Get some of the hair on the back of his head. And we're going to add a little bit of that to the shadow around his collar and his hat. Okay, good. Make the white paint a little soupy. You dip your fan brush into it. Fine lines of hair is so perfect. And we're going to make the little curls of hair on the back of his head. We're going to work it down into his beard. We're going to bring the beard out. We're going to make it look fluffy. Right on his mustache too. Alongside of his face. We're getting a little brighter white. Kind of brighten it up some more in front of his beard. Now we're going to add some more white. Going to brighten it up some more. There we go. There's Santa Claus. Now all we do is sign the painting. Happy holiday, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
And I am looking forward to delivering Christmas presents on the 25th. And you have a safe and outstanding remainder of the year, and be safe out there. Love you all. Merry Christmas. And soon to be a Happy New Year. Take care. I have been checking all my lists to see who has been naughty and nice. So it is for me to decide who is going to be the good and who is going to be the bad, and not get what you really want for Christmas. You know, it's not the one that you should have is not the need. Some people, they want this and they want that, and they've already got the old style, and it's still working good. It's like every year somebody just wants the new item of what they already have, and that's not being nice. That's being naughty. Being nice is wanting something, and it doesn't have to be the most expensive. It's just something that touches the heart. That's the most important thing. And it should always be that way. It's not what you want, what you would like to have. You don't need this, you don't need that. Be thankful for what you get. Not everybody can afford everything that's most expensive, just some little simple things. Some people's actually made, that really touches your heart. That's the most important thing. And you will see that you still have a happy and Merry Christmas, each and every one of you. And I'll see you on the 25th. So you go to bed early, and I will be there. So you have a wonderful year. It's almost over with. It's too fast. So you take care, and I will see you soon. And you have a safe remainder of the year, and be careful when you're out and about. So there's some good people out there that will help you any way they can, and you should try and put it back in return. There's people out there that's trying to help other people, and if you got just a little bit, if it's a dime, a penny, a nickel, anything will help a lot of these people out there that are really in desperate need, and they will deeply appreciate it. You have a safe and outstanding remainder of the year, and be safe out there. Love you all. Merry Christmas, and soon to be a Happy New Year. You take care.